Dun, 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 dun. Good morning. You're watching Breakfast with Hamilton, your number one station for morning news. My name is Jennifer Dwyer. Latest studies say that social service work counselors are very concerned about the skills of relationship immediacy. Let's go to Andrea, who's on the field at Mohawk Shelter, to learn more. Andrea, what can you tell us about relationship immediacy?
Well, Jen, relationship immediacy is all the rage today. I've just had a chance to speak with a counselor here at Mohawk Youth Shelter who explained to me that relationship immediacy is used by a counselor when feelings such as anger, frustration, or even parental feelings become apparent and are affecting the counseling relationship. Two counselors here at the Mohawk Youth Shelter have agreed to show us two examples of relationship immediacy.
How are you doing nowadays? So, how do you with your housing situation? Seems to talk about it.
It's pretty much the same. I'm still in the shelter.
Were you able to find any jobs, Vicky?
I'm trying, but it's really hard to find
Oh,
jobs.
sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. So what about that we talked about your parents, that we can come, we can sit all together?
I really don't want to call my parents. I haven't talked to them for a long time.
Don't you like it, huh?
No, I told you I didn't want to talk to them.
But, you know, sweetie, you should talk with your parents and you should allow them to come. I have a daughter who is saying like you, but I will not feel good if she will not contact with me. You understand, right?
Yeah, but it's complicated.
I know, but it's complicated for your parents too. What do you think?
I don't know. That's really not what I want.
It will not work?
I don't think so.
No, not all. Can you try?
No, I've tried to talk to my parents before, and it just doesn't work.
Listen, sweetie, parents are parents and they're always loving. What do you think? They really want
You
to
don't
see-
know my parents. They are...
Oh, no.
They are not.
Don't think them. Your mom loves you. It's true. She loves you. What do you think? But I think you can try. No?
So Jen, we just finished watching a video where the counselor failed to use relationship immediacy. What were your thoughts on that?
My thoughts were she wasn't acting very professional. From my perspective, Rubina was acting more of a parental figure rather than a counselor. She was,
Her feelings, if she couldn't separate them.
yeah, she seemed to be pushing her feelings onto Holly in regards to Rubina's own daughter. And from the way that Holly was slouched and the way she was answering her questions and stuff, you could tell that Holly was feeling very withdrawn and frustrated and upset. And as a counselor, you shouldn't be pushing or forcing Holly to make these decisions. These are decisions that Holly should make on her own. So I don't think that was a very good.
What would you have recommended for Rubina to do to deal with her feelings that she was having?
If Rubina since Rubina was having these strong feelings, I would suggest that possibly speak to her supervisor and explain the situation, and maybe have Holly be put with someone who will be better and more effective for her, rather than having Rubina project her feelings of her daughter onto Holly.
Well, I think in the next video we'll see how relationship immediacy can be used effectively.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Jen.
You're very welcome.
Now we will see correct use of relationship immediacy. Take it away.
Thank you, Andrea. Hello, Holly. How are you today?
Same old. Yeah, I'm just feeling a little frustrated and hopeless right now, and I don't really have a lot of support to have for me right now. Living on my own, and the shelter is good and stuff, but yeah, I'm just finding it kind of difficult. It's really hard to focus on getting a job where I don't have a lot of support.
So, what is this situation reminds me of my daughter, and I'm feeling strong emotion. So in this situation, I should talk with my supervisor right away and finish this session professionally. In our last session, we talked about your parents, that you can live with them, but it is up to you. If you like, you can do it. We can arrange for it.
Yeah, I thought about it. I don't think that's something that I want to do.
That's fine. It's your choice, certainly. We can go back to your housing situation then.
Yeah, okay. I think I'd like to talk about it a little bit more.
Do you need any professional help for that? Would you like to go any agency to find out housing? And also there are so many employment agencies that you can apply for a job or search for a job, and we can give you address or refer you there.
Yeah, any help is good, I guess.
That's wonderful. I will talk to my supervisor about it, and I think we will do something for you.
Hello. So, Jen, we just finished watching the correct way to use relationship immediacy. What did you think about this one?
I felt that it was more of a positive experience for Holly, as instead of Ravina taking on the parental role, she was acting like her counselor. It was also good too that Ravina was able to, internally acknowledge the fact that she was having these strong feelings towards her client, and that she will be going to speak to her supervisor to hopefully find a resolution to help correct these feelings. And you can also tell that this was the proper usage of relationship immediacy, because Holly was more engaged in the conversation. She was less frustrated. She had more eye contact with Ravina. So it was more of a positive interaction this time around.
It also seems like self-awareness really came into play with this. Do you think that's a key aspect of using immediacy?
Yes, I would totally agree with you that self-awareness is a huge part when practicing relationship immediacy.
Thank you, Jen. Now back to Jen at the news station.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much for letting our viewers, as well as myself, witness such a informative demonstration of how to practice relationship immediacy, as well as how to not practice relationship immediacy. I hope all of our viewers have learned as much as we have, and this will end our broadcast. Thank you so much for watching Breakfast with Hamilton. Have a good day.